We'll talk a little about knife sharpening. This is a JC knife. I like to take a piece of leather that I've had left over from a pad, and holding it in the same position that I would when I was trimming, you can see that it struggles to get through the leather. And you'll find some parts of it are sharper than others, but if you have a knife that won't cut through a leather pad, it won't cut through a hoof. And one thing that many of us are guilty of is using a knife that's too dull. And you see a lot of people, they'll show how sharp their knife is holding it this way. That's not the position that we hold it in. We're not cutting, we're not trimming in this direction. We're trimming in this direction. And it's not sharp enough for my tastes. So I'll show you how to put a good edge on it in a relatively short amount of time. What I like to use to sharpen my knives in between horses is a Baldor hoof buffer. I've mounted it backwards so that when it starts, the wheels will spin away from me. And I just have a muslin wheel, and I will use two different grades of polishing compound, the black being more coarse, the white being fine. So I'll turn it on. Eye protection is a must. And then I'll apply the compound past the point of center. And use a lot. Now I'll take my knife, I'll find top dead center, start in that position at a little bit of an angle, about 22 degrees, and I'll press fairly forcefully into the wheel, and move it along to the hook. You do want to make sure you don't overheat the knife. If you see any discoloration in the metal, you've overheated it, stop. We don't want to lose the temper in the knife. Now I'll take it on the back edge, laying it flat against the wheel, and very quickly drag it across to take any burr that may have formed off. I'll now switch over to my white polishing compound, again applying it on the back side of the wheel. And do the same. Right down to the hook. I won't press as forcefully using the white compound. That's ready to go to work. So if we take our sharpened knife, we come back to that piece of leather we were using before, you can see how much faster it cuts with less pressure. You can also see it's quite sharp. I could sit here and do this all day. Another way to tell if the knife is sharp, if you don't mind looking a little funny, on the bottom of your arm, find a spot of hair you don't care about. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this on the video, but just like using a straight razor, it takes it right off. That's sharp. And that took all of 20 seconds. There's no reason to use a dull knife at work.